Afternoon, Arsene. You're facing Chelsea on Sunday. Issue obviously taken a few weeks ago in Beijing. How different do you expect those two games to be?
Well, I would say that for us just a good opportunity to repeat the performance we had in the final, and the two teams will certainly go for the first trophy of the season with power and with a desire as well to be ready for the championship, so that plays a part in it as well, and to give competition to players who need it.
In terms of the team you've had at the weekend, what's the latest?
We have basically certainly everybody available to choose from on Sunday, and today in training we had not in full training Özil, but he should be all right, and Ramsey, he should be all right as well. Some players are just coming back, like Sanchez, Mustafi, and I haven't decided yet if we will involve them or not.
What was the issue with Özil and Ramsey today? Why were they not training?
A little muscular problem, and Özil a little ankle problem.
Is Francis Coquelin, is he available?
No, he is not, but he got injured again in the Emirates Cup. We don't think it will be too bad, 2 weeks.
And just lastly, Gabriel, he's obviously got injured at the end of last season. Is he close to?
Yeah, he's a long-term injury, and he starts to run again now, but he still needs 2-3 weeks before he can join in completely.
Arsene, we saw Alexis Sanchez training a little earlier. How is he?
Good, as you could see it in training, and he had a good rest, so he needs to work on his fitness, but once he's in the game, he's sharp, and he looks like he has never been away.
Is he over the flu that he had last week?
He's over the flu, yes, and I told you always it's no problem, was never a problem for us.
Tell me, what sort of frame of mind is he in with all the uncertainty surrounding his future?
A frame of mind of football play is quite easy, you know. Once you go out and play, you focus on the game and you enjoy the game. This is a thing that passes quickly in your life, so enjoy every single moment, and he loves so much the game that what he does.
Have you had a conversation with him?
Of course.
His future?
I speak to my players like...
what can you tell us then?
Nothing.
Has he asked to leave?
I just answered your sentence. I will not give you anything away on that, because that's the only thing I can tell you. He is focused. My decision is clear. He will stay, and he will respect that, and that's as simple as that.
Has he given you any indication that he will sign a new deal?
That's again, we do not want to come back out on that, because it's every negotiation or not negotiation has to be a little bit secret. The transparency society is very pushy, but we have to resist a little bit, as much as we can. And we know as well that we have a duty to inform people, but some things, to talk about some things is not information anymore, it's suicide.
But you remain confident that he will certainly be here for the coming season?
Yeah, I hope he will be here. I think he will be here for this season, and if we manage to do it for more seasons, we'll do it as well.
What news on perhaps other players who are in the last year of their contracts? Is there any progress on the likes of Kieran Gibbs and Alex Oxlade-Chamberlain?
Nothing to announce, you know.
Is anything close? Has there been any progress?
We make always progress, but I have nothing concrete to tell you on that.
Lucas Perez, his agent is currently saying that there are 2 clubs in Spain that are interested in him. There's a club in Germany, Fenerbahce, I think, in Turkey. Do you see his future elsewhere?
Yes, because we have a congestion of strikers, so I don't like to lose him because he's a top quality striker for me, but we have many strikers, and at some stage too much competition is no competition anymore, you know, because you cannot give a chance to anybody. So, but if he finds a satisfying solution, at least for a short time, we would do it.
So do you think it would be a permanent deal or a loan?
I don't know. I don't know.
Okay. Listen, I'd like to get your thoughts in very general terms about a £200 million player. What do you make of PSG and Neymar?
For me, it is the consequence of the ownerships, you know, that has changed completely the whole landscape of football in the last 15 years. And once a country owns a club, everything is possible. And so it becomes very difficult to respect financial fair play, because you can have different ways or different interests for a country. To have such a big player to represent the country can justify some investments that look unusual for the game. And that's why I always did plead for football living with its own resources. And apart from that, the numbers, we are not in a period anymore where you think, or in some places you think, I invest that, I will get that back. We are beyond that. There's a certain, in the number today is involved a lot of passion, pride, public interest, and that you cannot rationalize that anymore. And the numbers look just, on the other hand, it looks as well that the inflation is accelerating its rhythm. We crossed the first time the 100 million line last year, and only 1 year later we crossed the 200 million line. And when you think that Trevor Francis was the first guy for £1 million, and that it looked unreasonable, that shows you how much distance, how far we have gone, and how big football has become. It's beyond calculation, beyond rationality.
Do you think there are serious implications?
It will have implications because it's just the consequences it will provoke, because the clubs where Barcelona will want to buy a player will say, my friends, you have 250 millions or 220 millions in your pocket, so what costs 50 will cost 100 today for them.
Can you compete? Can Arsenal compete in that kind of market?
That's a bit. We still live with rationality, you know, and we are not the only ones. Many, I think, 99% of the clubs do that. But of course, we cannot compete at that level.
Arsene, was you quite pleased when this deal going through, because Alexis Sanchez was linked with PSG, which presumably makes your hand stronger?
Look, I'm pleased that I have him available and focused to play, and I believe that we all sign contracts, and as long as we are under contract, we respect the contract, and that's what Sanchez does.
And in terms of Neymar's wages, talk of £500,000 a week, I mean, do you think is that obscene, or is that now dealing with your players and their contract disputes?
You don't look at the number absolutely in the absolute value anymore, because I think football is for a long way now out of normal society, and the numbers are like the NBA in basketball, and so it's not comparable anymore to normal life, but that's the numbers. It was already out of context of a society always. So after it just becomes a little bit intellectual, the numbers, because you do not calculate anymore what it brings in. It's just a number.
Last couple.
Arsene, if Neymar costs 200, how much is the real cost of Alexis in this market?
You don't have to calculate like that. Today a player is worth what the club can afford to spend. And there's no anymore, I would say the price of a player depends only today on the identity of the buyer, and you cannot put it on the context of the market. It is a financial potential of the buyer who decides the price of a player today.
To say the last day that if Alexis doesn't play this game against Chelsea, it's better for Chelsea because it's Alexis.
It's better for
Chelsea if Alexis doesn't play.
maybe, but you know, we want as well not to take too big a gamble on a player who has just come back, and for us it's important to build his fitness and put him in a reasonable condition before we expose him to tough tests. Maybe he will play.
Is there any concern for you, Arsene, that just the sheer scope of the Neymar deal will drive the prices up for the players that you're looking at?
Not really, because I told you, at the end of the day, you can spend the money you can afford to spend, you know, and at some stage, if you go for a player, you can have not the money, it becomes purely monopoly.
I might just ask you a question about Chelsea. Obviously they won the title last season. Do you see them as significantly stronger with the additions that they have made?
Time will decide that. I would say they look like they have kept the basis of their squad. 95%. They've added Bakayoko, is a very strong player, strong ball winner, similar to Matic. Maybe less distance runner, but more an impact player. And overall, the question for them certainly will fight for the championship again. They have replaced Costa by Morata. Morata is more, maybe less a goal scorer than Costa, but he's a more can score and provide as well. So, and against us in Asia, Batshuayi played very well. He is a young striker who is promising as well. So I expect them to fight again for the championship. Yes.
Thank you very much. Thank you. How does it feel going into a season knowing you won't be involved in the Champions League?
Well, for us, it's a good opportunity to focus completely on Premier League. But anyway, I would say the Premier League has, in my opinion, taken over from the Champions League interest-wise, because it happened in the group stage where sometimes we rested players in the group stage or in the Champions League to prepare for the next Premier League game, because every Premier League game is so difficult. But I would have loved to play in it, but we have to deal with reality, and we are not in it.
So do you think it will help or hinder your Premier League campaign?
Look, it's very difficult at the moment to evaluate the forces, the real forces in the Premier League. Man United has bought, City has bought many players, Liverpool has bought, we have bought, Chelsea has bought, you have Tottenham as a young group is together for a long time. It's very open, and it's very difficult for me, as like certainly for you, to predict exactly what will happen.
Thank you very much.
So, can you just quickly address the controversy surrounding the owner of this club? I mean, there's a huge amount of negative backlash coming from the media, coming from supporters groups. How does that affect you, your group, your football?
Not at all. We are professional football people, and I think what it means to be professional is to focus on your job, and the strength of professional people is as well not to be diverted by noises that are not their problem.
But the fans themselves, I mean, there's 50,000 signatures on a petition to get rid of the owner. I mean, surely that's something that will causes problems down the line, and it maybe takes concentration off the game, doesn't it?
Sorry?
It might take a concentration off your game and distracts the group as a whole.
No, I don't know. I think to be professional is to focus on what is your job, and after that, that's the only way we can do that. We are focused on our job is to show it on Sunday. Next game is always the most important.
Thank you very much.
Yourself on the morality behind a channel that shows animals getting killed?
Look, I cannot judge because I don't know what's going on, you know. I have not been informed about that, and so I cannot give you any more information on that. Thank you.